Greetings, greetings. This is Malik Assad Jafar, and today we're going to be going into are new relationships dangerous for recovery? Let's get right to it.
I'm the best, so do not test the top of my profession, the master of my chosen field, of that there is no question.
All right. Well, I would like to first apologize for my. Well, I guess I don't have to apologize because y'all haven't seen the other video. I was horribly sick. Well, you did see the one with the mask on, but prior to that, I did a video while being sick, and it was absolutely horrible. Now, I don't know what to say about these videos I'm doing right now, but in any event, this one was I was all over the place, as if I'm not, on other videos. Nevertheless, apologies, even though you didn't see it. So this is kind of a retake of that one there in particular. The answer to that question is, are new relationships in recovery dangerous? The answer to that is yes, hands down. And I will explain. But before I explain that, what I'd like to do is give you a one scenario. Now, let me tell you, this is not a one-size-fits-all type of dynamic. I saw this dude and this girl come into treatment, and we had no earthly idea. I mean, you could tell the ones who are flirting, yada yada, this and that. But I had no idea that these two people liked each other. And one day they showed up at the front desk, and they were like, "We're discharging, we're leaving." And we were like, "Huh? We're?" And they were like, "Yes, we're in a relationship, and we love each other, and our love will see us through." And I was like, "Okay, tell me how that works out for you." Well, guess what? They did just that. They told me how it worked out for them. They came back a year and a half later with twins. Dude was working a great job. What I didn't know, she was going crazy because he was a traditional man, you know what I mean? And he didn't want her working. And she was like, "Shit, I gotta work." And she was going crazy not working. But once she had the babies and got them stabilized in daycare and stuff like that, which, I mean, man, applaud both of them, dude. It really makes me feel overwhelmed inside with emotion, because I'm like, dude was like, "I'm the man, I'm gonna work, I'm gonna do such and such, and you ain't gonna work and do nothing." And she's like, "Dude, I got your back. I'm your woman, and we're taking care of our kids together." And she went out and got a job, which reduced the child care amount. I mean, it gave her. I don't want to say more life, but it gave her a different perspective on life. Gave him a different perspective on life. I mean, man, it was. I don't know about fairy tale endings or anything like that, but it was the best thing to a fairy tale ending that I could identify with. And they were successful. Now, with that said, they are the only people that I know. I know that there's probably more. But, okay, big face. They are the only people that I know that were able to be successful in their relationship. Man, I know people who can't be successful in their own relationships, and they're not in recovery. So you add recovery on that, I'm just like, dude, what the hell? Why would you set yourself up for that? But they made it, and I'm proud of them. Kudos to you guys. Now, on the other hand, the majority of people that I see that get into relationships in recovery don't need to be in relationships. New relationships in recovery are absolutely dangerous and potentially life-threatening. Still trying to get over the cold. Let me explain why. The core of addiction is the inability to manage emotions properly. When you're in a position to get in a new relationship, scratch that. Let's go here. When you use substances, whatever they are, alcohol, drugs, period, whatever. When you use them, what do you use them for? Do you use them to feel bad? Or do you use them to feel good? Most people use them to feel good. Or most people use them to avoid feeling so bad, okay? So with that being said, it is supposed to be a pleasurable or positive dynamic for you to engage in using these substances. Now, they make you feel good and they stimulate the endorphins inside your body. The drugs or alcohol are inanimate objects. If you put them on the shelf, and had them in a locked room for however long amount of time, they're not going to turn the lights on or off. They're not going to turn the air on or off. They're not going to say, party, hey, party. You know, they're not going to kick it. They're not going to do it. They're going to sit right there, unless anybody comes in there and takes them. They're going to sit right there until someone makes them usable. So they are inanimate objects. Okay? So because they are inanimate objects, they have no control or influence per se over what goes on with a person. That is simply how a person interprets the usage. That's why some people like to drink and some people like to use weed and some people like to do fill in the blank. Now, with all of that being said, those are inanimate objects. Well, a new relationship is just like a drug. Now, the drug makes you feel good, but it is an inanimate object. New relationships are animate. They are active. They have their own feelings. They have their own fill in the blank, whatever you want to call it. They have their ability to influence in so many different parameters. So the problem with that comes is this. You abstain from using whatever your substance of choice is. And then all of a sudden you get into a new relationship. And they make you feel good. They make you happy. They make you feel fulfilled and have a purpose. Okay? For some people. So, one day, that time of the month, or that bill was due, child support needed, bad day at the job, relationship issues with the immediate family, whatever it is, they come home and by way of transference, dude almost fell off a skateboard and almost fell in the street. Wow. By way of transference, they take that shit out on you. And because they have been your, whatever you want to call it, I don't want to call them your anchor, but they've been your float. They've been what makes you buoyant. Okay? And the fact of the matter is that it's not that you're buoyant. It's that they have are actually an anchor. And so what ends up happening is that behind one situation that ends up taking place, their animate dynamic affects you. And what does this person do? They relapse. And they damn near kill themselves. Or they almost OD. Or they use and they become promiscuous and they deal with someone else. Or they just, whatever it is that they do. Sorry. Whatever it is that they do, they become a threat to this person. Whereas an inanimate object like substances or things like that can't influence you. You influence you based on the usage of the substance. But this person can significantly influence you by way of codependency, by way of all different kind of dynamics. But I will certainly digress, because each situation that is exposed to a new relationship is different per that person's experience. But it has been my understanding that most people who are in new relationships and recovery have problems, and it's dangerous because they use the relationships as the substance. And when that relationship is not doing well or fine, they rely on the relationship that has worked for them, or at least did work for them, time after time, and they relapse. So it's best, before you get into a new relationship, get your shit together, understand who you are and how you want to be. Know your truth, which is what I will be talking about pretty soon. And live your life according to what you think recovery is supposed to be. In any event, stay safe, y'all. Be blessed. And I'll see you next time. Peace. Bam.
I'm the best, so do not test the top of my profession. The master of my chosen field, of that there is no question.